Welcome to Was It Good, the podcast that reviews movies and TV shows. Today we are talking about everything, everywhere, all at once. I'm Ravi, joined by
Krishna,
the one and only brother I have today, and Mr. Michael is over on the producer's chair.
Indeed, I am. There's the button.
There he is. There's the
There he
button
is.
that puts the voice out there. Yeah, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, directed by Dan Kwan and Daniel Schneidert. Apologies if I'm messing that up.
you are. I think it's Scheinert?
Scheinert.
Maybe? Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I always try and research, names ahead of time to try and pronounce them. There's this good, really amazing website called pronounce.com.
Ooh.
You can put in anything,
Ooh.
and a computer will tell you or give its best interpretation on how to pronounce something. So
Oh, wow. I've just been using Google.
Google has the same thing. Yeah.
But I just read I didn't even know if they have like a recording of the word.
Usually it's like a machine recording of some kind, or like computer.
Do you trust
Machine.
those? Do you,
No.
do you trust the
I
computers?
don't trust the computers at all.
I don't know.
They're
I don't
fake.
know. Mhm.
But speaking of things that we trust and don't trust, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. A movie that I think right off the
Lives
bat,
up to the name.
yeah, it is a very kind of all over the place movie, just like how my thought process is going right now.
Oh, man.
Everywhere. I should have eaten
Yes.
something before I did this. I'm going to throw it
That's
to you,
okay.
Krishna, though. Like, as always, we do our one-word impressions to kind of summarize the movie. You actually literally just saw the movie, a couple hours ago? So
Yeah.
you must have come up with some kind of impression.
There's only one word. This movie is one of the few movies that has a correct one word. And I'm glad you let me go first because I get to use it before you can steal it. And it's Raccoonui. Raccoonui.
I'm sorry. One more time?
Raccoonui. Raccoonui. So it's the play on word in this movie. Instead of ratatouille,
Right.
in this universe, they use Raccoonui. So instead of a rat, yeah.
Right.
Do you don't remember that part?
No, I mean, I guess I don't.
Raccoonui? Oh man.
The
real
raccoon,
quick.
right? The universe where there's a raccoon controlling the person.
Right, exactly. Instead of a rat. So it was hilarious. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. It's like Raccoonui. There it is.
Raccoonui.
Nailed it.
Say that 15 times fast. Go. No, don't. Do
No,
that.
you can't. You can't
do that.
You'll forget it actually. But and I think that word kind of sums up the movie as a whole. Like, it is crazy. It is an insane movie, though it doesn't stop, and it is. I think you said it right before. Kind of all over the place.
Right.
Like there is a progression. There is logic to it, but there is so much happening. It's a movie about a multiverse, right? About the multiverse, and basically universes coming together. It's sort of like what Marvel is trying to accomplish throughout all their recent movies and TV shows, smushed into one movie. So if you just take that, it sounds insane, and the product is that part during the movie you feel insane watching it. So insane that you don't even question the logic of Raccoonui.
I'm surprised that that's what you bring up in terms of like, because that to me felt like more of the same parts of the movie.
Wow.
Like the parts about the parts with the hot dog universe, the hot dog finger universe, like that was kind of out there. The universe where they're rocks with
Oh yeah.
where they
just
towards the end they
talking rocks.
put talking rocks and they put the googly eyes on there.
Yep.
But it's interesting that you say like the movie is about a multiverse, because I feel like the
that's
multiverse is just kind of the the
Yes.
playground, right?
Yes.
Really, I think this movie is more about a mother, a wife, a partner, a daughter, very much kind of like that is what it's about in terms of like how do you kind of navigate all those different relationships and things. And we see it a lot from the male perspective, I think, where there are movies about being a son, being a father, being a brother, being blah, 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 blah. And we get that a lot. And it's kind of interesting that it's great that the Daniels and A24 they came out with this film. Originally, the from what I heard, and I believe it was Arjuna that told me this, was that they were going to focus on the male lead, the husband, over the wife, the female lead, played by Michelle
Yao.
Yeah, so Michelle Yao was obviously the lead. Originally they were thinking that Ke Hu Huan, who plays Waymond Wang, the husband, it was going to be from his perspective. And at some point, I think during pre-production is when they kind of decided, no, it would make more sense through her perspective.
Yeah.
It's unique.
That's interesting. We're jumping right into theme here, which you usually build to that, but let's just do it. It's interesting that.
Wait, I feel like that's a dig at me.
No, not a dig at all, because the theme of this movie is the most important part. Like you said, right? The multiverse stuff, the sci-fi, even the humor is all. I think playground is a fantastic word and model to look at the movie. What the movie is actually about. So I thought it's really interesting that you got family.
Where's Vin Diesel?
Where's Vin Diesel? Exactly. I thought that multiple times. I'm like, you need a good insert shot of Vin Diesel just going, I don't have family. I have family with a capital F.
Yep.
So to me, the movie was about the emotional attachments that family causes and that keeps you from truth. So I looked at and I love this image as well, the everything bagel, right? The everything bagel being the black hole of reality, right? So the daughter, she's able to connect and be in every universe at once, all at the same time. And she decides to put everything into an everything bagel.
Or on an everything bagel.
On an everything bagel. And she realizes it's the truth. It is what it is. This is what it's all about. And it's like a literal black hole. And, the whole movie, I thought the premise of the movie was interesting. She spends this whole movie trying to get to her mother and see if she can see what she sees. And not just what she sees, but if she can see anything else. Is there a purpose? Is there meaning to life? And I thought that was I was really shocked the movie went there. I was like, because at the end of the day, one of the last lines she says is like, nothing really matters. So I thought it was really interesting that that's the truth that they came to. And then they basically decided we're going to stay as a family, but knowing the truth.
So it's like living. So I guess, is it living in ignorance?
No, it's the opposite of that. They're living in pure knowledge. They're living now. They've chosen their lives.
Right.
And they know the truth. They know the truth is that there is no inherent meaning in anything. So it's the opposite. Living in ignorance would be trying to hold on to those mundane things in life, right? Like where she starts like doing the tax forms, and trying to run her laundromat. Staying in ignorance would be that's all you know, whereas now they have total knowledge. They know everything there is to know, and they've chosen this life with the knowledge that there's no real meaning, but they're going to choose that life anyway. But yeah, I mean that's the thing too. The movie, I think, there's so much going on. There's so much really cool visual stuff. It's both slow and fast. I don't know if you got this. Like there were parts of the movie that felt long.
It definitely like pacing wise. I think the movie does suffer a little with the pacing issue. Specifically, in the beginning, you're building up, you're learning about this world. You're given kind of the info dump, so you kind of understand the rules of this playground. And then when we get towards the end and she's kind of going through and hitting every reality, it definitely felt like, okay, it felt a little bit repetitive in certain parts and then confusing because you're jumping back between at the end you were jumping between similar realities where, there's one reality where the daughter's running away. There's one reality where she's sitting and smoking with the tax individual. There's another one where like she's hugging her husband. Like it's just, but to me when I was watching, it definitely felt like it took forever to kind of get through them all, and I get that, and maybe that was done by intent, but that it kind of removed it for me in terms of the whole what's the word, sense of disbelief, I guess.
Suspension. Yeah,
Suspension.
It pulled you out a little bit.
It pulled me out a little bit.
Yeah. I felt the same way. Like I thought there were like going through it, there were parts that it was like, wow, we've been on this. To be honest, the whole second half of the movie is just an extended fight scene. Really, if you think about it.
Yep.
An extended fight scene with breaks. With little breaks in the middle as they try and recuperate, and then they meet back up. Like I think the movie, in terms of, maybe this is the wrong word, but in terms of like the time scale, the movie, it feels like it takes place in like less than a day. The main part of the movie,
right?
Like they visit the tax office and then
they have the party in the evening.
Yeah, so
and
it's like kind of like one day.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's part of the. That was part, so the reason I even brought up the pacing was like it almost was like I think. They were trying to lull you into this thing, and then when we got to that ending, it sort of hit me. I'm like, oh, this is what the movie is about. And so I'm curious to watch it again to see if like there are things that you notice within, or the pacing's there intentionally to kind of lull you to sleep, and then it's supposed to like snap you awake again. I'm curious because the movie does feel like very intentional with a lot of what they were doing.
Right.
So it's interesting that. And I know we're not the only ones. Friend of the pod, Wesley. Remember, Wes?
Yep.
He also said right off the bat, it felt very long. Good movie, but just felt very long. So
it's funny that you bring up like you want to watch it again, because my one word for this is actually rewatch, for two reasons. Number one is because the whole what happens in the entire film. I'm kind of curious to go back and see what did I miss in terms of the main reality, and because remember there's that one point where it seems like she dies in the main reality because the evil daughter Joy sends one of her minions and potentially kills her, and then that main Joy bounces to another Joy. I think I might be completely wrong there, but there's that whole aspect. But then also it was announced actually earlier today or yesterday that they're going to re-release the movie again in theaters in IMAX, which will be interesting to see on a big, massive screen like that. Yeah, I actually saw this not on any AMC bigger screen. Like I just saw it on a small rinky-dink screen. Because there's like whatever,
like a regular movie theater.
Yeah,
screen?
like a regular film.
I thought you meant for a second, like on your iPhone.
Yeah, I watched. I bootlegged the whole thing. Watched it on my iPhone because fuck it.
Trying to save some money. I get it.
Yeah, definitely. Because
Yeah.
No, you should go see the movie in theater. Support the actors and the crew and everybody and all that.
AMC Stubs.
AMC Stubs. Sponsored.
Boom.
I wanted to say I
we are sponsored.
haven't seen it, but Krishna, what you mentioned about lulling you in and then snapping you awake reminded me of one thing I learned a long time ago in music class was like when they were making music for kings and queens, and it was like, entertain us or you're dead. I remember one specific song, not the name of it, not who composed it, but just the fact that they put a cymbal crash in the very beginning, just so that everybody after that would be on the edge of their seat prepared for the next cymbal crash that never came.
Oh, wow.
So maybe they did do something like that.
I mean, definitely. The movie definitely kind of like shocks you into what the fuck is happening, because essentially what happens is her husband, right, does a whole bunch of or basically like glitches, I guess, and then has a weird conversation with her, and then there's a whole kung fu fight sequence.
He verse jumped, right?
Yes.
So he's from the Alphaverse, the Alpha universe, where they first learned how to jump from universe to universe, and so it was intentional. I don't think it was a glitch. It's like he got to her universe.
Right. When I say glitch,
say glitch,
I mean just literally the husband's talking, and then he just like tweaks and then
Oh, you
jumps
mean
in. Yeah.
when you first see it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you.
So then that happens, and then there's the whole weird conversation piece around the tax, and then her being pulled back into the closet. When everything was going down, and I'm kind of curious, do you think there was or is any kind of multiverse thing? Or is this just her having, not necessarily a psychotic break, but more this is her way of kind of dealing with the various relationship issues that she has with, family, essentially, Vin Diesel. Do you think that is, do you think it is like what we were shown, or is it just her being a creative way to kind of, cope and get through everything?
Totally. It's a great question, because there were a few times during the movie I'm like, they have to, at some point during this movie, present an angle, or they don't have to, but I was surprised that they didn't. They didn't present the angle that she has snapped, right?
Right.
Like maybe she wakes up in a hospital bed, or she doesn't question it more, or other people around her don't question it more. And I guess the reason that they don't question it is because everything that everyone seems to be seeing is so ridiculous and out there, like turning people into confetti and, hot dog fingers. It's like...
Or jumping on butt plugs.
Jumping on butt plugs to unlock your hidden powers from another universe.
That's how I did it.
Yes, so these two guys in this movie. It is funny that you say that, because I think by the halfway point of the movie, I never questioned it again, because we were never given, at least explicitly. Now, maybe it was there, maybe it was really subtle and I missed it, but it doesn't seem like we were ever given that option or that question, Is she losing it? It seemed like everything we were presented was, take this at face value, because they haven't presented any other situation.
No, definitely. I think, if just like Inception did, right, at the very end with the spinning top, you don't know if the main character played by Leonardo DiCaprio is within a dream or is without a dream. It's kind of left to you. This, I think, again, like you said, I don't think anything's actually been presented where, maybe it is all just in her head. And that's the thing too, at least what I took the theme to be the movie, it would totally undercut, I think, what they were trying to say if they left it ambiguous. I think that line near the very end, we're at the climactic scene where it's like, where she hugs her daughter, where Evelyn hugs Joy and says, nothing really matters, right? Right.
But they're choosing to be there. So, if she's cracked, it sort of it undercuts that whole message.
But again, I don't
think
think it's necessary that I don't think she's cracked. I think it's just it's in her head. I guess the question is it in her head as a way to kind of cope and deal with, everything that's happening? And I think the reason I also bring up is it could work that way, because again, the whole point of the film is not this multiverse, right? The whole point is putting things aside and fixing those broken family relationships and I mean, just pick one and you can dive down the rabbit hole in terms of the problem, how to fix it, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah. As I get it, and that's really interesting, because I think, again, we have two slightly, like, I do agree, like, the family thing is important, but it's like family is the only thing keeping anyone from jumping into truth, which is the everything bagel.
Whoa. Wait, so you're saying family is what keeps you from the truth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's emotional attachments.
Oh, wow.
That I think,
and family is the strongest one,
right,
presented to us in this movie.
Right.
So.
But I think that could be any type of relationship.
Yeah,
right? Like
totally.
even like your relationship with your cat, potentially.
Sure.
Because, well, I guess it goes back. Aren't there those that believe, like, there's there's a certain group of monks that don't believe in personal or physical attachments, more so like physical items and owning stuff, right? because that will screw you up in terms of getting to enlightenment. But there are those that also get rid of like emotional attachment to others in order to kind of achieve enlightenment again.
Yeah, that's it. It's kind of the idea of the aesthetic, right? That's why they fast. They try and give up their attachment to food, and that's why they live in seclusion. They give up their attachment to other people, relationships. So yeah, I think that's a great point, and I think and I don't think there's no coincidence, at all that during the leading up to the climax, as Michelle Yeoh as Evelyn is gaining all the power and the knowledge, one of those googly eyes sticks right here.
Yeah,
right?
The third eye.
The third eye, that chakra right here, that is the knowledge, the all-seeing eye. All that was there for a reason. Again, I think there's a lot of like really cool symbolism as well, and it's sort of buried in the wackiness of it, like the butt plugs and the hot dog fingers. I think there's a lot of stuff
let's
in
figure
there.
out the meaning behind butt plugs.
Oh man, I think it's misdirection. I think it's like, laugh, have fun.
Maybe the third eye is the misdirection, and the real truth is in butt plugs.
Your real
Hot
third
dog
eye
fingers.
is your butthole.
I love that.
Your third eye is your butthole. Put that on a T-shirt.
I mean, that's near your first
Probably
chakra.
is on a
That
t-shirt.
that probably definitely is on a T-shirt somewhere. And if not, check it out now at wasitgood.info. We'll have the T-shirts made.
with little butthole
That's
pictures.
a great idea.
Yeah, we're gonna
We
do
should
that.
design
Maybe
T-shirts.
we're gonna try.
We should not do that.
Have you
It's just
guys
like a little
seen-
star,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
a
little
basically,
star,
yeah.
and then it's
have
like,
You're
some,
a
like
star.
the first chakra.
You're
Yeah.
a star.
boom, the first chakra.
Have
Hey,
you guys seen
hey,
Undone?
Learman, you should
The show
definitely
Undone?
implement this. You should definitely implement this into our D&D campaign.
Yeah. How do you know it's not?
Have we seen Shameless? You said.
No. There's a show on Amazon called Undone.
Oh no.
And it's about a girl who is in an accident, and her dead dad starts visiting her, and he's like, "We've got to teach you to control time, so you can go back and save me." And she doesn't know if she's going crazy because her grandma was crazy, or if she actually can control time. It's freaking crazy.
Nice. Yeah, actually, you might appreciate this. I mean, the whole time I was watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, I kept thinking this is just a perfect combination of The Matrix and the OA.
Ooh.
The Netflix show. It's a perfect, almost half and half.
I can see
of
that just
those
from the
two.
trailer.
Which one? I
Yeah.
don't remember OA. What was OA about?
You might not have seen it. It ran for 2 seasons, and I don't want to give anything away, but it stands for the original Angel, and it just deals with. I don't want to. You're gonna.
You
have
really
to watch
can't.
It.
Yeah,
don't
you
wanna
really
ruin
have to
All right,
watch it.
we'll
Yeah.
check
Don't
out
want to ruin it because
OA.
it's really good. It's really freaking good.
I think you could say it deals with self-acceptance.
Interesting.
That would be.
I will
great
check. I'm going to check the trailer after we're done recording here.
We should just binge it.
I mean,
No
could,
D&D
could.
tonight. We're watching the OA.
Wait, what about D&D?
I
No.
said no D&D.
He
We're
said, no
watching the
D&D.
OA.
So what? Couple.
Well, I
couple
don't know. Actually, we don't know. the
couple
same
of
thing.
fun things with this film. So this film was as you know, produced and distributed by A24, which is known for kind of different out there pieces of content. The team behind the visual and special effects of this were a very small, like 5-person team, and they did a lot of simple camera tricks and hacks essentially to kind of keep the budget down, even though when you look at the film, it definitely appears like you would think it was a Hollywood blockbuster. Wired has a really good video that kind of covers this, but some examples of like where they were smart and used kind of guerrilla tactics to kind of keep the budget down but get that like high crisp visual effect. When she is sitting in the chair and she's pulled through like all the multiple universes, they achieve that by sticking her against a green screen and her just waving her arms as if she's doing the motion and acting. But in order to make sure that the lighting on her face right matched where she was pulling or going through all the various universes, they had 2 like cheap LED panels on the side of her, and they would just pump the video that they knew that was going to end up behind her, so the lighting on her face would match as she's kind of zooming through everything
all at once.
Which is kind of crazy. Because usually what you would do, most studios would go and digitally add the light and everything to her face, which takes time, takes people, all that fun stuff.
Or like in Spider-Man, they would just run it by them with regular lights at an interval that they thought was good.
Yep.
But the other thing, I don't know if you're going to mention this, but along that, I remember from the article, is they did the shots that they used with an action cam. The director would walk around before they shot the film wearing an action cam, and they just used all his action cam footage for all the transitions between multiverses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very practical.
That's crazy.
Which is very nice to see and somewhat inspiring, I think, because the stuff that they were doing and using, like, we could do that. Or we could set up a green screen and some cheap. I mean, we would probably just use monitors that we have and stick them wherever and get it done that way. But very cool to see, like, it was practical and simple, and not, hey, we need to have a billion visual effects artists. Save that for things like Into the Spider-Verse.
Raccoony?
Did you say Ratatouille?
No, I said Into the Spider-Verse. But I think Limer was saying, Raccoony.
Rackanui.
Do you think I mean, again, that's another T-shirt idea right there. We should make a T-shirt that says Rackanui.
No, that's A24 is going to come out with that T-shirt. That's their branding.
Or better, Christian, your Halloween costume. We should get you a stuffed raccoon and you stick it on.
Put
your
it on
head.
my head, and then I wear a chef's hat.
Yep.
Like,
that would be the most.
I can't cook without my raccoon.
Don't do that for Halloween. Do that for Comic-Con. The most obscure cosplay.
Yeah,
reference.
actually, they had like a blue chef hat, blue chef hats, and then the white chef suit.
Simple, and then just have a raccoon just kind of popping out a little bit.
Yeah, just be like,
boom,
raccoon, baby.
With this film being that it kind of wrapped up, they're gonna cease jumping multiverses and try and figure out things and just kind of live a normal, quiet life. Would you want to see a sequel? And if so, what would it be about?
I think the answer is no. I wouldn't want to see a sequel because, what I got from the movie, there isn't too much more. There's nowhere else to go from there.
Right.
So to me, a sequel wouldn't make sense, and I wouldn't want to see one.
All right, just shut that down. Got it. Cool. Just trying to have a discussion
for me
here.
Personally. Yeah. For me personally, I mean, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, right? A sequel would be maybe they unlock the everything bagel and then they go through it, right? But to me, what was presented is on the other side of that bagel is just nothing. So a sequel could detail maybe there is something on the other side of the bagel, but again, I think that destroys what I think the theme of the movie is. So I think if they came out with a sequel, anything they come out with would weaken the premise of this movie.
Well, doesn't the existence of a bagel that you don't know what's on the other side of necessitate a sequel to find out what's on the other side of the bagel, no matter what's on the other side of the bagel?
They know what's on the other side of the bagel.
It's nothing. Yeah, it would it would destroy everything, or them destroy themselves.
It's instead of living in every universe, you would live in no universe. There's nothing. It's a black hole.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah, because the idea was,
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Right. Putting anything on the other side of that bagel, would just destroy what the movie was about, I think.
Oh, I thought you said you thought that there was nothing at the other side of the bagel. But we know for sure because that there's nothing.
They said because she put everything on an everything bagel, it collapsed in on itself and created a black hole, and there was nothing on the other side. So for her, the daughter Joy, her whole thing was to find the mother, figure out if she knows of anything else. Okay, she doesn't. Well, then I'm just going to go and jump through the black hole and become nothing and be done with this.
The opposite of everything is that the opposite of everything everywhere all at once is nothing. So that's what
nothing nowhere is on the other side at any time.
Correct.
Right.
That should be the sequel.
That's the sequel, yeah.
And it's just no. Hear me out. Hear me out.
There's a black screen.
Hear me out.
They've already made it.
Exactly. So what they do is They'll call the movie Nothing Nowhere
Anytime.
right? And
And it's just black.
they'll put out a trailer, and it's just basically a recut of what we saw with Everything Everywhere All at Once. And the trailer will end with something along the lines of, and now the sequel. And then we all go to the movie theaters. We pay our $16, $25, whatever is a ticket. We go and we sit down. We have our popcorn. The theater's packed. We're all really excited because they've done really good work with this marketing where we just don't know what's coming. And then the screen is just white.
Oh, white.
It's just white and white
That would drive you
noise,
insane.
white noise playing. And you go to get up to go and get an usher because you're like, oh, maybe something's wrong with the
The
screen.
movie's broken.
But then you realize they've locked the door. It's all part of the experience. And you're stuck in this movie theater with a white screen and white noise playing for 3 hours.
That doesn't sound like
You
nothing.
would have people killing each other.
It would be interesting.
This is what I want for a sequel. They won't
That is
do it.
the ultimate
Madness.
The ultimate movie experience. You become the movie.
Yeah, boom.
Because you would, the whole theater would go crazy and start killing each other.
I thought you were.
That's a good movie.
I thought you were gonna have it where you go, you sit down, the trailers roll, and it's like, here's the movie, and then the curtains close, and it's like, thank you very much. Nothing happens.
No, better yet. You go, the trailers start, and then Nicole Kidman's fucking AMC ad doesn't play.
Doesn't play.
Does not play. I'm
Oh.
tired of hearing movies are where we go to. No, movies are where I go not to see you, Nicole Kidman.
Theaters are where I
mean-
don't go to avoid Nicole Kidman.
Even what's that line that she says? Even here, sadness feels good, or being sad feels
Oh,
good.
yeah.
right,
What?
yeah,
No, that's not
Like,
how
shut
that
up.
works.
You make me sad, and it doesn't feel good, Nicole Kidman.
What was the last movie Nicole Kidman did? I can't remember.
I think she's on TV a lot. HBO's like Big Little Lies.
Oh,
or
that's
something
right.
Like that.
Yep, she was in that. Is that still? I don't even know if that's still going.
I think they've had
Wow.
some spin-offs, a spin-off like Littler
Littler Liars.
Little Lies or Liars on Fire or something.
medium size liars, which is actually
And the-
big size.
Medium size
Medium size.
lies.
Well, this is probably going to be this is definitely going to be a short pod because I do not have a lot more.
I mean, we're right where you said you thought you might.
I mean, that's
I
pretty good.
I could talk a little
Before we actually get out there, like we haven't done a quick round in terms of like updates and other things that we're watching. So I like to spend this time bitching.
bit. Don't spoil
Oh,
what you
no.
know I don't want you to spoil.
I'm not going to spoil Tokyo Vice,
Okay.
HBO Max's newest hit crime drama. It did end, unfortunately, today. This thing, something.
It's
Anyway,
over.
I'm not going to say anything
Yeah,
beyond
don't
that.
say anything.
But I want to complain about Star Trek Picard.
I mean, come on, man.
But real quick, I was so hopeful for. I don't even know why I'm getting this. I just want to vent.
Why?
Because
Why were you
I
hopeful?
season 2.
It's a shitty show.
Season 2 started somewhat well. I texted you guys week over week. I was like, hey,
did.
episode 1 off to a good start. Episode 2, I might tear up a little bit. Episode 3, oh my goodness, this is maybe they figured it out. And then it was episode 4, what the fuck? And then since then, basically it's gone so bad. The episode was running, and I got up and left to go do something else because I was like, I'll just keep it playing in the background. And I missed about half the episode.
Oh my god.
Came back and was still like, I know what's happening, and this is all really, really stupid. It is.
Really?
It is. It has gotten so bad. It is horrific because I get the show is called Picard and it's about Jean-Luc Picard. The problem is they've gone and introduced a somewhat disturbing element in his childhood, and I kind of get why. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. I don't get why they did it. Do you guys?
Wait, what is the disturbing element?
I
I'm
know
not
that
gonna-
they keep
I'm not
something
gonna-
about
I'm-
fly. His
I'm
mom
not gonna-
keeps telling
I'm
him
not
to
gonna-
fly.
I'm
and
not
that's
going to
all I know.
spoil it for you guys or anything like that, but they introduced an element in there that just they gave him trauma that he is now in his, like, I guess he would be in his 80s. The character of Jean-Luc Picard is now dealing with, which I guess, is a good thing. We should always figure out our, and deal with trauma in a good way. But the way in which he's being forced to deal with his trauma is because the all-powerful being Q, which is like one of the main antagonists from the original Next Generation. Q is dying, and I guess And here's the thing. This was the penultimate episode. Next week is the finale. I still don't really understand why Q is doing what Q does. I don't think Q knows anymore either. I don't think anybody knows what they're doing.
Wait. Wasn't Q always so... I don't watch Star Trek, so I might be totally wrong. But wasn't Q always like this wild card who you never were supposed to understand
definitely
why
kind
he did
of was
what he
a
did?
wild card, but like he was always he kind of would always explain why he did what he did through kind of I'm going to kind of educate you / use philosophy on your ass.
Yeah, he's
to
always
explain away what I'm doing. But so far, again, we have one episode left, and I don't feel like that's going to be done well. I think it's going to be more of I wanted you to remember your childhood, and that feels very weak and poor. So there's that whole aspect. And then, even worse, I love me some Borg. They're fucking fascinating. The whole idea behind the Borg is fascinating. This idea of like this thing that wants to be connected and know everything. So they have these things called Borg Queens, which is like the separated piece in order to interact with various species and groups when needed. And this particular Borg Queen that travels back with them is lonely and wants to feel connection because she misses the hive or whatever. So ultimately, they've decided that this Borg Queen has decided I'm not going to be a Borg and create a new collective of free thinkers. And now it's free in the 21st.
Wait, there's a Borg Queen creating some sort of like free thinking collective, hippie place.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's just all over the place where I do not like it. I hate it all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was this season 2?
This is season 2, and the season
are you
3.
Are you
season
going
3
to
has
watch?
been greenlit.
What?
Are you going to watch season 3?
Yes.
Because you should have learned your lesson after season 1.
I was texting with Julian about this, and he said, I think what he said. I said to him, I was like, I think I have a problem, where it's like
you're a Star Trek masochist.
I'm a Star Trek masochist.
You're cutting yourself with Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm cutting myself with
you
Star
confused
Trek,
them.
yeah.
Both, really.
But
episode 8. Come on.
No, that was the good one.
Anyway, that's the end of my rant. I will stop there.
No, that's
I
adequate.
feel like I'm in a worse place now. Your depression has become my depression. The only advice I can give you is don't watch the finale. Don't watch any more Star Trek or Doctor Who ever again.
Whoa! You gotta finish it.
I gotta
finish what you start.
No,
I gotta see how this ends.
No. The pain of not finishing will be less than the pain of finishing it and being disappointed.
That's not necessarily.
So
guarantee.
That's like leaving a bad song in your head.
Wait, so do you think that? Well, actually, you might have a
shouldn't do
point.
that.
You might have a point. It might be better to not know how this shit show ends and just imagine my own ending.
Yeah, but that's like
you should
imagining
write your own
all the
ending.
horrible things that could happen to you instead of just letting the one horrible thing happen to you. That's like a bunch of horrible things.
That's like
just
imagining
one.
things. Hold on. I'm tying back. It's like everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah, in a way. But like how when you're like, oh, what if this happens? Or what if this happens? Or I'm all nervous about this. That always just puts you through the trauma twice. You just say something will happen. And then whatever does happen, you go through it. And then you're done with it. But if you don't finish it, you'll always imagine all the
Something
various
better.
terrible things that. Well, no, because he's in
something
a
better.
place. Does he sound like he's imagining better things, Krishna?
I'm imagining a big
no, he
space
doesn't.
battle.
No,
he doesn't.
so he needs to just get the one bad thing out of the way. Maybe it
But then
redeems
let me ask you
itself.
this: has he learned his lesson? Is he going to not watch season 3?
Why would he not watch it? What if it's good?
Oh no, yeah, but
I mean, every time
season
you bet
1
on roulette,
and season 2 were bad.
yeah, well,
I mean, I went through 4
third time's
seasons
the
of Star
charm.
Trek. I went through 4 seasons of Star Trek Discovery. So
and you'll go through
And
5.
how's
if
that?
they'll greenlit a
How's that
5.
working out for you?
season 4 was better than season 3, I think.
Was it? No.
Can I actually remember right now?
Pike was the good season. Oh yeah. That was season 2.
Anyway, let's get back on track here. Krishna,
Oh,
we're jumping out of the rant section of the pod now, and now we're going into the big question here.
the finale,
The finale,
climax.
the climax right here.
Well, wait. I'm real curious. I know
boy.
you're the host, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
keep
you,
interrupting me here.
No, but you said you were going to talk about what we've been watching, and Krishna didn't say what he's been watching.
Oh, I know he's not been watching anything.
Okay,
else.
well, that's all I wanted to know.
Oh, I've been watching Dragon Ball Z.
Really?
Move on.
Dead serious.
Wait, which Dragon Ball Z? Like just Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. I'm getting through. So the movie was delayed and it's coming out now in June.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm going to binge Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super to get ready for the movie.
Wow, so you're just watching a lot of constipated people.
And recaps.
Constipation and yellow hair and actually I'm watching it in such a way there's no recaps. It's just a marathon. You can marathon it, so it's just the episodes.
So
with no
I
recaps
tried
and,
because I was bored and I was throwing on random episodes of just anime. So I threw on an episode of Gundam Wing.
Oh,
And you know the main character is it Hero?
Hero, yeah, I think.
He's kind of I didn't really remember him being a massive like self-absorbed asshole.
Yeah,
I don't remember that. I thought he was like this kind of like I do it for the people, but I never remembered him as like an asshole. I guess
he was sort of like this emo teenage kid who's really full of himself.
Well,
I never finished Gundam Wing, but
wait, you can't be emo and then full of yourself, can you?
Well,
have to be.
Yeah, like you're emo, as in like he was really kind of depressing, but he still had like he was still like well, I mean I haven't seen it in a long time. Isn't he kind of like this like kind of like everything sucks?
Well, so that's the thing. No, like the episodes that I were watching, which were early in the beginning of it, he was very much like I'm better than everybody else. So not emo. Maybe he becomes emo. We'll find out
because he
he's
finds
like
out
Maverick
he's not.
from Top Gun.
Yeah, basically.
Ooh, that's a movie.
And then I threw on a random episode of Dragon Ball GT.
Oh, GT.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
You know, it's not canon anymore, so you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's still weird to watch because it's terrible.
Yeah, GT was hot garbage.
Anyway, Christian, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Was it good?
It was awesome. Really good movie. It spoke to me on a few different levels, and kind of like how I feel like I've been saying the same thing for the last few weeks, but I like it when shows and movies go all the way to like what is existence, like what is consciousness, and I like it when shows do that. They don't give up halfway through, like following that premise all the way through, right? And this movie definitely does that, I thought. And not a lot of movies have the courage to do that. So I really appreciate that about this movie.
Takes balls.
It has the balls.
It has the balls to do it, yeah.
Yeah. Ravi, was Everything Everywhere All at Once good?
I'm going to go with yes. I don't know why I'm making it sound like I'm questioning myself because it was good actually. So yeah, I don't know why I did that. That was weird. I'm trying to add mystery to this pod. So.
Yeah. No, you're increasing the drama. Like,
exactly.
Will he? Won't he? Yeah.
No, definitely. I think the big winner here is the effects, and then also the fact, when you kind of realize at the end of the movie, like, oh. This movie is not necessarily just about, or even mostly about this multiverse thing. It is about family.
Family. Love it.
Imagine if, like, every time we used Vin Diesel's family, like how he says it, we'd have to give him like a dime. We would be pretty poor.
Yeah, I would.
We'd be bankrupt.
My savings would be gone.
Yes, 100% gone. Because we say it almost. Every pod. It's almost like every pod is about family and not Star Wars.
Or every movie and TV show is about family.
Or we've diluted the definition of family so thoroughly.
So much, yeah. We're talking...
When the original quote is, I don't have friends, I have family.
Yeah.
They did that themselves.
That's true. The most generic thing, like two generic things that everybody, for the most
everyone
part,
has friends and family.
Or is aware of or
everyone
understands.
Is just family. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Was It Good. As always, you can find us on social media at Twitter at Was It Good, on TikTok and Instagram at Was It Good Pod. The full episodes of these pods and cutdowns are on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/wasitgood. Check out our website, wasitgood.info for blogs and other posts. We will be back hopefully next Friday, potentially a Doctor Strange
Probably Sunday.
That was a huge lie on my part. Most likely Sunday. But again, follow us on social to get the up-to-date information, because the beautiful thing is we can put these pods out whenever we want because the internet is everywhere.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, that movie title just works for everything.
Was she just surfing the web at work? Is that what that movie was?
Maybe.
That would work. That would actually work as an interpretation, I feel. As long as if they had added a scene of her on the internet, that would be a totally legitimate interpretation. But we didn't see her on the internet.
No.
So
check out Krishna's cut coming soon.
yeah. I'm gonna dress up as Michelle Yao and just be surfing the internet. So and then we can put that in the beginning.
Boom, done. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.